Proud to present High School Football 87. Tonight from Worthington High School, the Gahanna Lincoln Lions take on the Worthington Cardinals.
City billboards on VTR 1.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Buckeye Optical. You only get one set of eyes. Trust them to Buckeye Optical. By Plascolite, Flex-Tight Insulating Windows. There's more for your life at Sears. By OP Gallo Formal Wear, featuring the Dynasty Collection by After 6. By Reichert Ford. Hey, we're dealing. And by Bill Swad Chevrolet. Come on down to Bill Swad today.
Welcome to week number 8 of High School Football 87 tonight from Worthington High School. Good evening, everybody. I'm Randy Reinhardt. You know, if you talk to an ornithologist and told him you got a cardinal going up against a lion, he'd say, hey, take the lion every time. Tonight we've got that, the Cardinals of Worthington taking on the Lions of Gahanna Lincoln High School. And on paper, it looks like that kind of a mismatch as well. Gahanna Lincoln with a record of 7-0 on the season. They are 4-0 in the OCC Ohio. They were not scored on in the first 5 games of the season. They have outscored their opponents 161 points to 16. Meanwhile, Worthington has been beset by injuries all year. They are 3-4 overall and 1-3 in the OCC Ohio. And you take a look at that team, they've scored 41 points so far this season and have given up but 71. So the offense has to come around, and that's where the injuries have been for the Cardinals. Starting quarterback Brian East has been hurt, and running back Darren Liggins, but they should both be playing tonight and near 100%. 2 great coaches in this contest tonight as well, in Phil Koppel from Gahanna Lincoln and Bob Seaman from Worthington. Earlier, we talked to these 2 head coaches.
I think the key in a big game is always defense, and I feel that both teams have very strong defenses, and I think that it'll depend which offense can make the fewest mistakes and come up with the big plays, but I don't see either team driving the ball consistently. I think it's going to be just a very hard-fought football game, which most Gahanna-Worthington games are.
All right, Worthington and Gahanna are very similar as football teams. We both play excellent defense and both pretty good offensive teams. Gahanna's made a lot less errors offensively than we have. I think if we play error-free football this Friday night, we'll be able to play with Gahanna. And I think the key is just the team that makes the biggest and the most mistakes is going to be the team that suffers a loss.
Our thanks to both head coaches, and joining me again this week is Jim Anderson. Jim, both coaches talked about mistakes, but I know you think some other things are going to be keys in this contest tonight too, don't you?
Well, I think a very strong key will be whether Worthington has gotten their offense going this week. They've had trouble moving the football up and down the field, and Gahanna hasn't had that problem. So if Worthington can put it together and move it consistently, we should see a very fine football game. I know defensively it's going to be a heck of a battle.
Let's find out, will the Lions sleep tonight, or will the Cardinals imitate their friends down in St. Louis? Gahanna and Worthington, the kickoff is coming up. You're watching High School Football, brought to you by Coaxial Communications and your local cable operator.
This van is your van. This van is my van. USA's largest Ford conversion dealer includes all brands. New Dodge vans, $11,995. New Chevy vans, $12,995. Ford vans from $13,995 to all the top names, Gerwin, Starcraft, Starline, and Coachman, as well as high tops and camper vans.
Brand new Ford and Chevy minivans, 6 automatic and air, $139 a month, no money down. Take the Columbus Outer Belt to exit 46, then south to Vanland.
We're dealing!
I looked into your room, I saw it in your eyes. You were so proud, you looked so rich. You seemed so confident. Was I yours or were you mine? Did I touch it? Did I feel it? Did I get it? Was I yours or were you mine?
The Dynasty Collection by After 6.
And available at OP Gallo Formal Wear.
Welcome back to Worthington High School. Just about ready for the start of tonight's contest. Gahanna with the option. They will receive. The Cardinals to kick off, going from left to right on your screen, wearing the cardinal and white. A high driving kick. That'll be Shepard for the Lions at the 7-yard line. Across the 10, here comes Shepard up across the 20-yard line, down at around the 23. Let's take a look at the Gahanna Lincoln Lion offense to start the contest tonight. Ayers will alternate with Dwayne Higgins, number 16, as a split end. Across the line, it's Tackett, Steinhauser, Voigt. Davis will see time with Richkowski and Frazier. And Foster and Holmes will share time at the right tackle. Tight end is Bourne, Driesbach, the quarterback, along with Ratcliffe, Shepard, and Dondi Smith in the backfield. First and 10, mark it officially at the 23-yard line. Here goes Shepard. Across the 25, big hole across the 30, 35, Shepard still on his feet, 40, 45, midfield. Eric Shepard all the way down to the Cardinal 49-yard line.
They went with a different formation. I don't know whether the Cardinals were expecting that or not. That was an unbalanced line they started with, and they dove the fullback and passed off to the halfback Shepard over the fullback fake. He got on the corner very easily, so they secured that flank nicely.
As you take a look at the Cardinal defense, we'll go over them again later on in tonight's contest. A gain of 28 on that play by Shepard. First and 10, mark it officially at the Cardinal 48-yard line. That's Shepard in motion. The handoff goes to number 45 for the Lions. That's Dave Radcliffe, the fullback. He advances it for a gain of about 3 on the play. I'll recap those Cardinal defenders for you. Basically a 50 defense with Wilson, Leiter, Mosley and Garver will alternate at the nose. Lloyd and Binns up front. The linebackers are Kelly and Gerard. In the secondary, it's Pecco, James, Gableman, and Beagle. S is for strong side of the formation of the offense's formation. Weak side is abbreviated with a W. Second, and let's call it 7 from the 45. That's Shepard. He'll get down to just about the 42-yard line. Coach, it almost looked like one of the Lions in the backfield left early.
Yeah, he started to, but I didn't see a flag thrown. He was all right as long as he was moving laterally. That was a power play they tried, pulled both guards to come outside. Stopped beautifully by number 69 from Worthington, Brian Leiter. Did a nice job breaking through, had some help on it also.
3rd and 3. Mark the ball at the Cardinal 42-yard line. Pitch goes Shepard, top of the screen, across the 40, and he's brought down right there. No less than about 3 Cardinals in on that stop. Among them, you can see number 58 for Worthington High School, and that is Andrew Wilson.
Initial contact, then again, Randy, was by Leiter. He came to play. He stuck his nose right in that hole and met that back right in the line of scrimmage.
Leiter, the strong side defensive tackle, with his 2nd tackle in the last 3 plays. 9:36 and running left to go here in the first period. Harmon to punt now for the Lions. Line drive, hits it around the 16, takes a Cardinal bounce, and is down by the Lions around the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 from there for Worthington High School. Let's take a look now at the Worthington offense if we can. Up front, the split end, Russell Little. Across the interior line, it's Coop, Planitzer, Graber, Bobbitt, and Lambert. The tight end, number 80, Chris Hogue. The other wide receiver, number 48, Scott Pashis. The quarterback, Brian East. Fullback, Jeff Galvin. And the tailback, number 29, Dwayne Underwood. We will also see Darren Liggins, number 44, and 26, Paul Evanson in the backfield. They mark it officially at the 17. 1st and 10 from there. East comes up to the line of scrimmage with 1 back in the backfield. He rolls, bottom of the screen, looking downfield. The pass is complete and out of the hands of number 29 for the Cardinals. That is Dwayne Underwood. A little surprise there, too, Coach, from the Cardinals, showing us 3 wide receivers on that particular play.
Yes, that was a surprise. They had twins away and a flanker out here on this side to the bottom of your screen. That was a surprise. It came right out now. They look like they want to move the football. They come out on the sprint out.
We'll take a look at the Gahanna defense after this play. 2nd and 10, mark it again at the 17-yard line, and now a more traditional I setup for the Cardinals. Unbalanced line, Coach, as you can see on the field. And pressure in the backfield. I'm not sure if he even got to hand that ball off. Handoff was made to Jeff Galvin. He'll be brought down near the line of scrimmage. Taking a look at the Lion defense, basically a 4-3 with Douglas, Frazier, Rollins, and Hohenstein up front. The linebackers, 3 good ones, Bourne, Davis, and Queen. And Radcliffe will also see some action as the right linebacker. In the secondary, it's Ayers. Bailey will share time with Sean Zimmerman. Harmon and Sanders make up the secondary. They mark it back at the 16-yard line. Let's call it 3rd and 11. East looks, play action, the pass is incomplete. Looking for it, number 29 again, Dwayne Underwood.
And 25, Jason Harmon almost had it and into the end zone. Gahanna's had defenders on the football both times.
You talk about the Lions on the season, Coach. We touched on this in the top of the game. They've given up 16 points on the season. They have not given up a point to an opponent in the first quarter this year. As number 6, it's Ron Borquist into punt for the Cardinals. High snap, gets it down at around the 2. Nice kick will bounce around the 43-yard line, and it hits the Cardinal defender in the back of the foot, and it's picked up by a Lion very quickly in the person of number 21, Matt Ayers. It hit the foot, it looked like, of number 33 for the Cardinals, Mark Spencer.
They took care of that official and got him out of the way, Harry.
32 yards on the punt by Borquist.
That's his average, I believe, isn't it? 32 yards.
31.7.
So he hit his average. That's about as much as you can ask of a guy if it's a constant average, if it's a true average.
Driesbach back in at quarterback again for the Lions. He's 44 out of 71 on the season. Higgins wide, bottom of the screen. Backs are split in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the 47. Rolls top of the screen. Very elusive quarterback is Bill Driesbach. The pass is complete downfield. It goes to number 38, Don D. Smith, the 5'8", 164-pound sophomore.
And there to make the stop was number 21, Nate Gableman.
Gableman, one of the Cardinals who's been fighting the flu this week. We've talked about the rash of injuries they've had to overcome. Well, just when they think they're getting healthier, boom, the flu hits Worthington.
Oh, that flu's liable to show up anytime. They can wipe out a whole team.
They call it a gain of just about 9 on the play. Let's call it 2nd and 1, 7:33 left to go, first quarter. Shepard in motion. Handoff goes inside. Looks like carrying the ball for the Lions will be number 45, Dave Radcliffe. Radcliffe, a 3-year starter, but only 2 years at Gahanna. His sophomore year, he played high school football in Tennessee.
I'll be darned. So he moved out of state, huh?
Radcliffe, a young man who's carried the ball 39 times on the season for 243 yards. That's a 6-yard average.
We've already seen one heck of a lot of defense, Randy. It looks like the evening's going to go through it with that kind of defense. It's strong from both sides of the line of scrimmage, doing a great job.
And let's watch the Worthington defense, Coach. We talked about the fact that they flip-flop 10 of the 11 guys. Only the nose man stays in the same spot. That's Smith in motion. Driesbach rolls top of the screen. Man wide open. That's Shepard across the 27-yard line. Knocked out of bounds right there.
He was wide open. The coverage was slow getting there. Of course, when you bring a man out of the backfield again, you're going to ask a linebacker to make the cover on him, and it's a very difficult job for a young man to get out there from that position.
Coach, we saw that all last week with UA and Westerville South. That was the big play, I think, offensively for both teams in that second half of that contest.
Right.
A gain of just about 8 on the play. Let's call it 2nd and 2. Exactly 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. That's Shepard in motion again, bottom of the screen. Handoff again goes inside to number 45, Dave Radcliffe, down to about the 22. He should have enough for a Lion first down.
Yes, he does. He picked it up. That was a nice hole that time. That was one of the better holes from the running plays that we've seen tonight.
What an outstanding offensive line the Lions have, too, with the gentlemen up front in Tackett, Steinhauser, Voigt, Davis, who will alternate with Richkowski and Frazier, and Kirk Foster, who will share time at right tackle with 73, Mike Holmes, who is 6'8", 337, and but a junior. Shepard goes right into the pile near the 20-yard line.
He tried to make a cut in there, and of course his footing didn't do well for him, and he went down. But there wasn't much waiting for him. I didn't see a hole. It was jammed.
Coach, the Lions already with 3 first downs. Driesbach is 2 out of 2 passing for 18 yards.
He throws the ball well.
Coach, a young man who last year rushed for 800 yards on the season, missed 2 games earlier this year with an ankle injury. A gain of 2 on the play. Let's call it 2nd and 8, 6:12 left to go. No score from Worthington High School. Driesbach rolls top of the screen. Plenty of time. Looks downfield. The pass is nearly intercepted, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, the receivers were covered then. Worthington's defense did a fine job.
Let's talk about the quarterback, number 15, Bill Driesbach, Coach. Here's a guy who at the end of his freshman year was not a great quarterback, did not have the arm it looked like. He went to a football camp at Ohio State. They found a flaw in his mechanisms, in his delivery, came back as a sophomore as a great throwing quarterback, and now here he is, not only a great quarterback from a passing standpoint, but a great rusher, very elusive, and on the season has rushed for nearly 100 yards.
Well, he has quick feet, too. He gets out there very nicely in that sprint out action.
3rd, and let's call it 8 with 6:05 left to go. Driesbach goes back. Pressure on now, looking for help. He's going to be brought down, loses the ball. It's falling, and it looks like a Lion falls on it back at the 28-yard line. Coming up from the bottom of the pile, you can see number 60 for the Lions. That is Don Davis.
It almost looked like he was trying to heave the ball. There were 4 or 5 Lions waiting there and no red shirts. So it was pretty safe to do that.
Yeah, as you take a look at this one more time, Coach, from ground level.
You see him coming out here. Now, watch the... I think that he tried to let that ball go. I don't think he dropped that ball. I think he tried to advance it, and he saw a lot of his white shirts out there available and thought it would be a safe thing to do.
And Coach, you can hear they're promoting our contest when it will be on. If you're watching Friday night, we'll let you know it's on Friday at 11 p.m. as you're watching it right now. Then Saturday, you can see the game at 9 p.m. And in coax only, it'll be on Sunday at 12 noon. And next weekend, yes, more great football action. We'll be at Independence High School, home of the 76ers, as the Brookhaven Bearcats take on the Indy 76ers. See that one next week, Friday at 11 p.m. A special playback time on Saturday at 10 p.m. and then on coax only Sunday at 12 noon. See that game on Coaxial Channel 36, All-American Channel 10, Cube Channel 1, and Telemedia Channel 10.
That's going to be a good one.
Should be great, and big action tonight. Brookhaven taking on, I believe, Marion Franklin tonight at Bearcat Stadium, and Independence on the road taking on the Bruins of Briggs. Now, Coach, on this fourth down situation now with the ball back at the 28-yard line, you got to think about Ed Bourne. He has a school record of a 45-yard field goal, or excuse me, 44-yard field goal. His attempt would be very near that if they decide to kick a field goal. Bourne, interesting young man, last year led the team in kick scoring and also had the most quarterback sacks on the team playing as a linebacker.
Yeah, he's quite a young man. He plays a lot of positions, does a lot of things well. He has plenty of skill for this game.
This would be a school record for the Lions. 45 yards away, it will be short. Remember, the ball is still alive. It will roll. Will it be downed by a Cardinal? It is down right there by number 39, Nathaniel Beagle. So the field goal attempt falls short. The Cardinals take over with 5:33 left to go in the first period and no score. One timeout taken before that play, too, will add by Gahanna. They have 2 remaining in the first half. The Cardinals with their full complement of 3.
That turned out to be about an 8-yard punt.
And, Coach, that's true. We see Ed Bourne changing shoes again. Obviously went to the kicking shoe for that field goal attempt. Needed just a little bit more toe, as you see Brian East bringing the Cardinals up to the line of scrimmage. That's Galvin in motion. East looking, pressure's on, gets it away. The pass is incomplete. Nice throw. Looking for number 80, the tight end, Chris Hogue.
Yeah, he just missed it. That was overthrown just a bit. The receiver couldn't quite get to it. There were a lot of white shirts, but not as deep as he was. He had beaten the secondary then.
East on the season, Coach, 11 out of 30 passing for 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His long pass, 33 yards. So far tonight, he's zip out of 3. East, a young man who overcame 2 injuries, too, Coach. We mentioned the wrist that was broken in the first scrimmage and also an injured shoulder separation, both on his right side, and of course that's his throwing side. Very hard to come back from that. 2nd and 10 now. Mark the ball at the 20.
Now, there was a nice block in the line then, very nice, as a matter of fact. The middle was open. He picked up about 4 or 5 anyway.
That's Jeff Galvin on the carry. He'll advance it up to just about the 25. Coach, let's call it 3rd and 5 as you take a look at Bob Seaman right now along the sideline. 5th year at Worthington High School. What a great job he's done. 39-10-2 is his overall record, and 4 straight OCC Ohio titles. Been in the playoffs the last 2 years. Otherwise, they've done nothing.
Yeah, but if you look back at Bob Seaman's record all the way down the line, it's going to be that outstanding.
It's incredible. We'll talk about the history of Bob Seaman in just a moment. That's Hogue in motion now, bottom of the screen. East rolls. Pass is complete. Nice catch by Hogue out to just about the 28-yard line. He'll be short of a Cardinal first down.
Again, it's tough to cover that pass and those short ones and the sprint out action. You don't know quite what to do on the corner there, whether to come up and force the quarterback, or do you lay back and let him throw, and you don't know then if you're going to give him an opportunity to turn upfield.
Take a look now.
That's not an easy play to defend.
Coach, Hogue's 2nd reception of the season.
And it's a nice one, too. He was covered. Not too bad coverage on him, but the pass was right in there, right in his mitts.
Borgquist to punt. Pressure's on. The kick is blocked by number 66, Scott Frazier. Bounces around near the 25-yard line. A big break for the Gahanna Lincoln Lions, and they make it themselves with 4:34 left to go, first period.
That's the kind of break that can turn this game in one direction very, very quickly. There's no doubt.
We'll take a look at
25-yard line.
Take a look one more time at the great play by Scott Frazier.
There it was. He tried to kick it right through the defender, and there's 78 picking it up.
For the Lions, that's David Rollins, defensive tackle.
Yeah, he made the recovery.
1st and 10, Coach. They mark it officially at the 25-yard line. Driesbach rolls, top of screen. Will he run? Takes it across the 25, down near the 21 before he's hog-tied there.
He picked up about 5 on that. He gets out there very nicely on the perimeter You have to contain that quarterback. I think his original intention may have been to pass. You never know that, so the quarterback has to be contained by someone in that defensive line or in the immediate secondary.
A gain of 4 for Driesbach, 2nd and 6. Driesbach looking to celebrate his birthday a little late. He turned 18 last Wednesday. Higgins wide now, bottom of the screen for the Lions. From the eye, the pitch, no. They bring it the other way. That's Donde Smith. Flags down on the play, trying to work his way outside. Still on his feet, all the way down to just about the 17-yard line before he's brought down.
Misdirection then to Donde Smith, and of course he did an excellent job carrying it. I thought he was going to be nailed just as about the time he got the pitch.
The officials are having a conference right now at around the 17-yard line while coach looks for the signal. I'll remind you that the referee is Larry Rood. The umpire is Mike Burbridge. The linesman is Ray Kirsch. The line judge is Dave Howard, and the back judge is Paul Lee. And in the referee and umpire in tonight's contest, Coach, you know, one of these guys played at the same school that our statistician, the Hockster, went to. Was that what, Pleasant View High School?
Oh, is that right?
The other one was his English teacher, I believe.
I'll be darned.
I wondered why he was wearing a wireless headset and microphone hookup. He's talking to these guys during the game, I think. And Larry Rood gives us the signal for a legal procedure. Mark it back to the 26-yard line. Let's call it now 2nd and 11 with 3:35 and running. First period, no score from Worthington High School. Higgins now wide, bottom of the screen. That's Smith on the wing. Driesbach looking for Smith, hits him in the hands, a pass incomplete, pressure on. Nice stick, too, made for the Cardinals in the person of, it looks like, number 42, Tim James.
Did he pay the price? And of course, you have to have those receivers know that you're there when you're in that defensive secondary so that they'll be hearing footsteps the next time they come in that area.
And, Coach, we might mention, too, that Tim James, another birthday gentleman, turned 17 last Tuesday.
Tim James was the one, I think, that made the opening tackle and the opening kickoff. So.
Outstanding lacrosse player. His brother plays right now at Ohio Wesleyan.
Oh.
3rd and 11 from the 26. Again, Higgins wide, bottom of the screen. That's Smith in motion. Driesbach on the keeper. Gets down to just about the 20-yard line, setting up a 4th down situation. And let's see if Ed Bourne changes shoes again and tries a 37-yarder.
That was a keeper all the way, too. He didn't look to pitch. It didn't look like it was an option because I didn't see anyone out there that looked like he wanted to receive a pitch, and he didn't look like he was searching for someone to pitch it to.
Or perhaps this time we could see Mike Clyde. Clyde kicks the extra points. And quite often, Bourne will kick the field goals, but let's see who we've got out there. That is Clyde, 5'9", 145, and a senior. From 37 yards away, it's long enough. The kick is good with 2:32 left to go first period. The Lions take a 3-0 lead.
That was a very nice kick. Very, very nice kick.
37-yard field goal is good.
The snap was good, the hold was good, and the kick was just beautiful. So the job was done completely.
And we stand at 3-0 right now. And a reminder that tonight's Worthington versus Gahanna football game, it's Parents' Night, sponsored by the Worthington Quarterback Club. All parents and guardians of over 90 Worthington varsity football players were recognized together with the football players prior to tonight's game. And also a reminder, this is a copyrighted presentation of Coaxial Communications Incorporated. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Coaxial Communications is prohibited.
Do you happen to know how many field goals they've kicked this season? Because I know it's one of them has, Bourne has 7
That is
himself.
Clyde's first field goal of the season. And Bourne has 6 field goals on the season. His long this year, I believe, was 39 yards. As we said, he has the school record of 44, but Clyde now gets his first on the season, kicking one from 37 away. And you know, Coach, you take a look at that. Bourne has 25 points in kick scoring. Clyde now has a total of 13. 2 great kickers on this Lion team.
That's unbelievable to have 2 kids that can kick field goals for you.
Coming the other way for the Cardinals, it's Shep Galvin with the ball now. Across the 25, across the 30, and flags down as he goes down around the 34.
Well, we haven't seen too many of them, and they're starting to be a little bit of an epidemic, huh?
Let's hope not. Unfortunately, you can't get a shot to get rid of flags.
Yeah, a shot can do it, though.
Oh, how droll you are. Clip is the call on the Cardinals with 2:26 left to go. And Larry Rood, Mike Burbridge and Dan Hawk's friends take the march back now across the 30, back to just about the 28-yard line.
Larry Rood, for about 40 years, looked like a little kid. I've known him almost that long. Maybe not 40, but I'll bet 30. He's only just beginning to look like an adult.
I got asked for a hall pass last week when I went to a high school, so I felt good. I tipped the monitor $1. First and 10 from the 28, 2:12 and running first period. The backs from an eye for the Cardinals. Trying to turn the corner is number 29, Dwayne Underwood, without much success.
Now there again is, that's the sign of a great defense. 7 or 8 white shirts at the football. That's tremendous defense. That's what you call pursuit and ball coverage.
Let me correct, the original line of scrimmage there as the 18-yard line, at the 18-yard line. And now he loses a yard, so let's call it 2nd and 11 from just about the 17 with 1:40 in running first period. Gahanna Lincoln leads Worthington by a score of 3-0. Underwood is wide bottom of the screen with twins now to the top of the screen to the Cardinals. East rolls to the top, looks, pass is complete. Coming back to the ball is number 22, Russell Little. Little out to the 28, near a first down. A story for you, Coach, on Russell Little. He likes the Browns and Brian Brennan. His mother, Mary, probably has a lot of input into the Ohio High School Athletic Association that people don't know about. She is the receptionist there.
I'll be darned.
And I thought she was Russell's twin sister when I first met her, honestly.
Did you really?
That should be worth a compliment from her. She really does a great job down there at the OHSAA, and Father Russ is a correctional officer at the London Correctional Institute, so a fine family. Congratulations to all three, and a first down now for the Cardinals at the 29-yard line. The backs are split. The handoff goes to number 47. Jeff Galvin is nailed before he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was a great defensive play again. Tom Douglas made the initial hit. There wasn't too much room for that tailback to move. And again, there were about 5 white shirts there all told.
Davis and Douglas, a D&D combination, both there. Davis, a outstanding linebacker, and then Douglas, a man who was playing defensive tackle. They noticed what great speed he had, so they put him out on the end, Coach, and he runs the 40 in about 4.9. As we'll take a look at this one more time.
Wow.
And we'll put you down on the sidelines for this great defensive play.
Now you watch, there's the initial hit, and look at the crowd that comes later. Just a tremendous job.
Coach, that looked like Scott Frazier.
It was Frazier that made the initial hit. Douglas was right after him.
East looking downfield. The pass will be complete to Underwood across the 30, near the 32-yard line.
Now again, he saw that his quarterback was in trouble, so he moved beautifully down there to come back to the quarterback to take the reception. There wasn't a big gain on the play, but it's better than having the quarterback eat the football as he was about to do.
Clock running now, inside 5 seconds left to go on a 3rd down and 7 situation. We'll end it right here. The score at the end of one, Gahanna Lincoln 3, Worthington nothing.
Stay tuned for second quarter action on Coaxial's High School Football 87.
Old storm windows are awkward, heavy, fragile, and need maintenance. Plastic films are cheap but hard to see through, impossible to clean, and ugly. Here's an alternative, the Flex-Tight magnetic interior insulating window. It snaps on inside, helps keep drafts and street noise outside. The frame seals tight like a refrigerator door. It's clear as glass, but lighter, tougher, and a better insulator. And it looks just fine.
Save 20% now at Sears.
Friends at Bill Swad Chevrolet, I'm having the biggest year-end liquidation sale of our history. We've got Sprints, we got S10 pickups, Cavaliers, Corvettes, and many, many more. And remember, any brand new car, truck, or van on the showroom floor, we got 2 showroom floors, only 1 cent over our actual invoice cost. We'll show you the invoice. We got over 700 cars and trucks and vans in stock for immediate delivery. And remember, up to $5,500 discount, only 1 cent over our actual cost. Come on out to Bill Swad Chevrolet right away.
Welcome back to Worthington High School. The start of the second quarter, Gahanna Lincoln leading Worthington by a score of 3-0. Jim Anderson, any surprises in that first period of action?
Well, it's been a heck of a defensive ball game. Of course, we anticipated that. No, not many surprises, really.
We'll go over the stats for the first period in just a moment. 3rd and 7 now for the Cardinals from just about their own 33-yard line. Handoff inside will get the Cardinals up to just about the 36, setting up a 4th and 3 situation. on the carry for the Cardinals. It looks like Liggins. It is Darren Liggins, officially on his first carry of the evening. Liggins had rushed 65 times for 246 yards. And, Coach, here's another gentleman who's been snake-bitten by injuries. Injury to his thumb early on in the year, and then a knee strain kept him out of last week's game.
Well, let me tell you, he had nothing wrong with his legs because he was moving into the line. He did a beautiful job of carrying the football, whether he gained anything or not.
Borquist's punt takes a Lion bounce all the way back up near midfield before it's down by the Cardinals. Get on the ball for Worthington, number 18. That is Scott Colarosi.
The kicking game has become very important, hasn't it?
It has, Coach. And let's check the distance on that punt. That will go just about 12 yards. Let me correct that to Colarosi. Downing it for the Cardinals. 1st and 10. They mark it officially at the Cardinal 49-yard line. Dreesbach, the quarterback, with one back in the backfield. That is Ratcliffe. Higgins wide, bottom of the screen, Twins to the top. Sounds like almost an audible now from Bill Dreesbach at the line of scrimmage. Quick pop. Higgins is covered. Dreesbach might have to eat it. Gets away at midfield down to the 45. We talked about the elusiveness of Bill Dreesbach. It looked like no way they were going to get a pass completion there, and he was going to be trapped for about a 5-yard loss, but he gets away and turns a 5-yard loss into about a 4-yard gain.
I would have put money on it that he was going to experience a loss there. He did just a beautiful job. That move that he made to fake the first tackler was tremendous.
Take a look at this one more time. We'll put you up top for a great play by Bill Dreesbach.
Now watch this move that he makes when he comes out here thinking he's going to get rid of the football. Now he can't. Now there it was, and he gets himself 3 or 4 yards. That's a great job.
We come back to live action, 2nd and 6 from the 45 of Worthington. Flags down on the play. Coach, take a look at the Worthington defense, too. We talked about flip-flop that they would do defensively on the prior play. It looked like only just about 2 men in the down position on the line.
Well, they're playing a lot of people up, and a lot of teams do that. Some people play their tackles up. They think that they can do just as well from a 2-point stance than a 3 or 4 point for their initial move defensively. And a lot of teams that are experienced using it do very well with it.
False start is the call on the Lions. Mark the ball back in midfield. That'll set up a 2nd down, and let's call it 12 with 10:24 left to go until halftime. And at the halftime break, we'll take a look at both high school marching bands and our sports medicine grant players of the game from last week. We had UA and Westerville South. It was a good one. Flags down again. I don't know. Could it be that Larry Root is warming up his pitching arm, thinking about the World Series?
He saw somebody moving. I thought maybe that they had used too much time, but it was a motion penalty and a procedure.
Got a nice arm, too, I'll say that.
I saw a guy one time throw his flag up in the air and landed it right across the quarterback's face mask. He thought he had gone blind.
I remember the time that David Hill picked up the official's flag, and the official said something to him, so he threw the flag at the official. 3 penalties for Gahanna for 15 yards. March it back now to the Gahanna 45-yard line. Let's call it 2nd and just about 17 yards to go, and officials timeout on the field. Those stats through 1 quarter look like this. Gahanna 3 first downs, Worthington 1 yards rushing. Gahanna 45, Worthington with 1. Passing yards, Gahanna 18 yards, 2 of 4 passing. Worthington 19 yards on 3 of 6 passing. Total yards 63 for Gahanna, 24 Worthington. 1 penalty for 5 yards in Gahanna's territory against the Lions, and 1 for 15 against Worthington. Plays in the first quarter, 16 for Gahanna and 12 for Worthington.
I think what we're seeing here is a great deal of respect being shown by the opposing coaches for each other's rushing defense. You asked me if there was anything unusual about that first quarter. As I look back, I'm surprised at how much passing we saw in the first quarter by both ball teams.
You see the address on your screen. If you have a question, a comment, anything you'd like to communicate to us, drop us a line to that address. No matter what cable company you live in, if you enjoy high school sports, we do it for you. We need to hear from you. Coach, I believe we might have a problem with the headsets again on one of the sidelines. I assume it might be the Gahanna sideline having some problems with their headsets.
Well, I didn't notice it.
And now if you take a look, I don't see any coach on either side with headsets on right now. 2nd and 16 again. Inside, that's Radcliffe. He'll advance it down to just about the line, 49-yard line, setting up a 3rd, and let's call it about 13.
That's the old fullback trap that we saw break for long yardage a couple of weeks ago.
9:22 left to go in the first half. And, Coach, I'm surprised at the way this contest is shaped up. I thought we would see a low-scoring game. I thought we'd have a touchdown on the board by now. Remember, too, when you take a look at Worthington, the Cardinals on the season have scored but 3 points in the second half all year. 38 of their 41 points came in the first 2 quarters. 3rd and 13, misdirection. Here we go on a reverse off the counter to Donde Smith across the 45. Smith, 40, 35, still on his feet. Where does he go out of bounds? They mark him out of bounds where? Along the far sideline, somewhere around the 33-yard line. What a run on the play by number 38, Donde Smith.
He has a tremendous knack of making himself a very, very elusive target. He has that knack, and good backs have it. Not all of them have it, but our great back has it.
As you take a look at this replay, he reminds me of Everett Ross, the way he runs, using his arm as a tripod to right himself. Great balance. 19 yards rushing by Smith. He goes in motion right now. Handoff goes to Radcliffe across the 30-yard line down to just about the 29.
What was amusing on that last play is he was ahead of his blocker, his lead blocker, from the word go as soon as he got the reverse handoff.
And Smith came into the ball game with 14 rushes for about 90 yards. He could equal that rather tonight. 8.5 left to go in the first half. 3-0 Gahanna. 2nd and 6 from the 29. That's Higgins now wide, bottom of the screen. Shepard, he is nailed in the backfield.
And the gentleman doing the job was Brian Kelly. He's an excellent linebacker. Does a great job.
And a flag right at the 30-yard line. Right after the tackle by Kelly.
That was another example, by the way, Randy, of 2 people pulling out of the line looking like they're really going to do a job, and then somehow cutting up in to get a block and leaving the defender there to make the tackle.
We'll take a look at this one more time. Great play by Brian Kelly defensively.
You can see the guards pulling out here leading the play, and they go right past the defender, and the defender moves in and makes the play.
Let's stay with us if we can. We couldn't see it there. For some reason, we had a personal foul called on the Cardinals at the end of that play, and I was looking to see if there's any exchange of conversation between the two or anything, but we couldn't see anything. So a personal foul marched off against the Cardinals, put the ball all the way down on just about the 15-yard line. Brian Kelly, young man whose father, Dwight, played at OSU and with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, what a ball player he was.
Wasn't he?
No wonder Brian Kelly's a good linebacker.
1st and 10, mark it at the 15. That's Ayers wide, bottom of the screen. Radcliffe and Shepard in the backfield. That's Smith in motion. Radcliffe across the 15, bulls his way down to just about the 12.
Well, he had the initial move. He had the space to move into, rather, as he started, was handed the ball. He had a nice job, an easy job of getting into the secondary, but at that point, he was met by about 4 Cardinals.
And among them, a man's name who we've mentioned several times tonight, Brian Leiter, again, helping to make the stop for the Cardinals.
Leiter's doing an excellent job. He has been all along.
2nd and 7 with the ball at the 12-yard line. 7:35 left to go first half. That's Shepard around left end, and he's going to be nailed around the 11. You know, it looked like Shepard had the corner, but the pursuit got there very quickly and shut him down after a gain of about just a yard on the play.
Well, initially, I think what he was trying to do was to run the ball off the tackle hole because he was trying to get a kick out blocked by number 66, who was
Scott Frazier?
Scott Frazier, yes. I missed that guy. He was out there trying to kick out on the end, and they jammed it, and he didn't have room then to...
We should mention, Coach, that we have a roster for the 2 teams that combined has 153 names on it. 3rd and 5 from the 10-yard line. Driesbach rolls, bottom of the screen, flag down around the 13, looking, tries to lead Smith. Also in the corner of the end zone open, he had number 17, that was Ed Bourne. The pass ball is incomplete. We're going to have a penalty coming up on the Lions.
It's going to be a backfield motion penalty.
Broken up by Nate Gableman. Flag on the play.
And we wait for the officials to sort out the situation. A reminder, once again, at halftime, we'll be entertained by both high school marching bands. We'll take a look at the Sports Medicine Grant players of the game. Great game last week between UA and Westerville South. And you'll see the great play by Rex Holman and Dave Jones last week.
We're going to see another field goal here, or an attempt.
Let's see if it will be Bourne or Clyde this time. It will be Clyde again. Rushing, Radcliffe 15 yards so far for the Lions. Shepard 37 yards.
Like they say, you dance with who brought you.
This isn't a dance, though.
No, but that last 37-yard field goal.
Could never figure out those prom lines in a sporting endeavor. The 27-yard field goal attempt by Clyde splits the uprights, and the Lions lead 6-0.
That kid's got a foot. That ball took off and sailed. I didn't know if it was going to come down. He could have made that thing from another 30 yards.
Coach, a couple of other things I want to say, too. A testimonial honoring Al Bowen, who has been head coach for Central's basketball program and Walnut Ridge, will be October 31st at Walnut Ridge. Coaches and former players interested in attending should call Dennis Wilcox at 261-0360 or 460-7528. That's taking place on October 31st at Walnut Ridge High School at 6 p.m. Also, we want to wish our very best to Gary Irvin, the coordinator of student activities for the Columbus Public Schools, resting now after being ill for a couple of weeks. Gary, get better. Everyone's thinking about you.
Well, it looks like there's about 6 minutes and 43 seconds left for the Cardinals to get their first half score.
And, you know, we talked about that, Coach. Worthington had actually outscored their opponents in those first two quarters as well. 16-14 in the first quarter and 22-21 in the second quarter. In the third period, their opponents had 19 points to 3 for the Cardinals. In the fourth quarter, the opponents had it all, 17-0 blitz in that particular period. Gahanna has not given up more than 7 points
with
in any
this
quarter.
many games, though, except for a team like Gahanna that has such an excellent defense. 17 points given up in the fourth quarter in this many games isn't very many.
Cardinals have a great defense, Coach. They've given up but 71 points in 7 games. The injuries on the offense have been a key, scoring but 41 points. In fact, they equaled their output the entire season in the first half of their game last week against Grove City. There's the kick. Goes in and out of the hands of Liggins. Picks it up around the 3. And now with the ball, the Cardinals will advance it up to the 15-yard line. As Liggins did not get back to the ball, we have a different Cardinal carrying the ball. That'll be Underwood, who has it up to just about the 15.
They had a hard time finding the handle to get that thing started, didn't they?
So the Cardinals will start in the shadow of their own goalposts with 6:36 left to go in the first half, down 6-0.
We ought to see that ball out on the perimeter and sprinting out and throwing action here some, I would expect.
Matt Bourne has been a busy man after he kicks off. He always has to change shoes again. That's a little wide bottom of the screen now for the Cardinals. Handoff goes inside to the fullback. He'll gain about 5 on the play, up to just about the 20-yard line.
That's what you call leg drive. He really did. He didn't want to go down, and he fought for every bit of that 5 yards. Did a great job of ball carrying.
Liggins 5'11", 186, and a junior on the carry.
It's very strong.
Extremely strong. Coming in with a play now is Chris Davis from the sidelines, from head coach Bob Seaman, as we said, in his 5th year at Worthington High School, but by no means only a 5th-year coach. Spent more than 30 years coaching. Davis wide now, bottom of the screen for the Cardinals. East looks downfield. The pass is tipped and incomplete. Looking along the near sidelines for number 44, Darren Liggins.
Brian that time had trouble with the release. He just didn't get a good release on the ball, and it took a little bit of a nosedive because it didn't make much height, and it was tipped very easily by a defender in the line.
Coach, no excuse either, but how difficult is it to come back from a broken wrist and a separated shoulder in the same season?
Hey, that
on the throwing side, too.
I'd say he had some problems. You have to admire him for the job that he's doing.
Cardinals have played 3 quarterbacks this year, along with the starter, Brian East. Quick pop, the pass for Liggins, nearly pulls it down. The pass falls incomplete. Also, the 2 gentlemen who played at quarterback this year for the Cardinals, Bubba Lichtenberg and Jeff Maddox.
Now, that ball was thrown behind Liggins, and of course, when a fella has to come back for the football, it gives the defense a great opportunity to recover if they weren't on top of the play initially.
4th and 5 situation now for the Cardinals. East, 3 out of 8 passing on the evening. Bordquist is back deep for the Cardinals. High snap, comes down with a nice play, gets the kick off. High, but not too long, will bounce across the 40 at the 42 and take a left-hand turn. I tell you, Bordquist has had no luck on the bounces on his punts this evening.
No, he's not. He hasn't gotten a bounce yet that I can recall.
22 yards on the punt by Bordquist.
I think he only punted his average, if I recall, 1 time.
How difficult is it to come off with a good kick after you get a high snap like that, Coach?
Well, a lot of times, believe it or not, you get your best kick coming off that. I can't explain why. It just happens. That time it didn't. but it certainly wasn't his fault. He never got a chance to get set. He had to rush the kick. When you have to jump in the air, he left his feet to take that snap. That was really high.
Take a look at a Cardinal contingent along the sidelines. The flag is down right now at the 38-yard line in Worthington territory. We're trying to sort out that situation with 5:26 left to go in the first half.
Time is wearing thin here for the second quarter, 5:26. Well, they still have time.
Coach, the fabulous Buckeyes of Ohio State take on the Golden Gophers of Minnesota tomorrow as we speak. We're taping this Friday night. What is your prognostication for that little tussle tomorrow afternoon?
I hate to go against the Bucks.
Uh-oh. Drum roll. Are you picking the Gophers?
No, I'm not picking the Gophers. I'm still going to stick with the Bucks. I think they're going to find themselves one of these days, but better be very quickly. If they lose this one tomorrow, they can go 5-4-1, I think, for the season or worse.
Could you give me a score?
A score? Well, I wouldn't go very high. I'd say about 14-7 or something like that.
A clip on the play will give the ball back to the Cardinals, march it out 15 yards to the 35-yard line. Dead ball clip. Gahanna did not gain possession, so it's marked from the line of scrimmage at the 20. The pitch is nearly dropped, and now it is lost, fought for, and it looks like the Lions will get the ball around the 30-yard line.
Absolutely. There were about 6 Lions on that football, and only one to try to take it away from them.
Coming up with the ball, coach number 41, Matt Queen.
You bet. 6-1 odds are pretty big. That's a lot of weight.
Jimmy the Greek Anderson will take a look at this one more time. On the attempted pitch, bottom of the screen by East.
Well, when the quarterback was taken really, and it was difficult, and he should have probably eaten the football in that circumstance. Not because the fumble occurred, but it was too tight.
Pitch a little behind Evanson, so now Gahanna with the ball 1st and 10 from their own, check that, from the Cardinal 30-yard line. Driesbach rolls, bottom of the screen, pressure's on. As he rolls out of bounds, he tries to pass it, and it's nearly intercepted along the near sidelines by a Cardinal. Check out that number here in just a second. It looks like number 21 for Worthington, and it is. That's Nate Gableman.
Yeah, Nate Gableman was there, and the thing that was, that quarterback shouldn't have thrown the ball then. He was too tight to the sideline, and when he looked downfield, if he'd have seen what I had seen, there were 4 red shirts around the receiver. There wasn't too many opportunities for him to come down with that football.
But Bill Driesbach is a creative quarterback. He threw that long touchdown pass to Higgins that same way. Hard to stymie someone like that who's been successful in the past. 2nd and 10 now from the Worthington 30-yard line with 5 minutes left to go. Quick pop, top of the screen to Shepard. Tries to spin away, gets away at the 30, and he's brought down near the 27-yard line. A nice little move to get him away from number 42, Tim Janes, after he gets down to just about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, he picked up a couple of yards and should have had about 2 or 3 yard loss on that play.
They mark his knee down at the 28. Let's call it 3rd and 8 from there with 4:40 left to go in the first half. Radcliffe and Shepard in the backfield from an eye with Smith on the wing. Driesbach again goes back to throw, and flags are down again, rolling, buying time. He'll take it across the 30, cut back to the 25, and down at the 24-yard line. In on the stop for the Cardinals is number 56, Clark Lloyd.
I have a feeling that penalty is going to go against the Lions, and of course Worthington is going to refuse it because it brings up a 4th down again, so we're going to be looking at possibly another field goal attempt.
Do you decline it? Right now it would be about a, let's see, a 42-yard field goal attempt. I don't think that's out of Clyde's range, actually. They're discussing the option right now with the Cardinals.
If they take the penalty, yeah, they give him another down, too.
They do decline it, and it'll set up a 4th down situation with the ball at just about the 24-yard line and 4:21 left to go.
It'll be about a 41 or a 42-yard kick.
The ball is ready for action. The Lions are not, so they'll take their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining in the first half. Worthington still unofficially with their full complement of 3 timeouts. And a reminder, too, that the 5th quarter set up by our friends down at Sports Medicine Grant to handle injuries that need to be treated immediately but don't require a trip to the emergency room, such as sprains, strains, bruises, and suspected fractures. Patients will be evaluated by a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon at no charge, and no appointments are necessary. The clinic is open special hours Friday evenings from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight and Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to noon. The goal is to encourage athletes with injuries to get immediate attention from trained medical professionals. Check that out at Sports Medicine Grant downtown. Coach, with 4:20 left to go in the first half, I wonder if Phil Koppel along the far sidelines has a choice. Will he go with Clyde or perhaps have Bourne in there again to attempt the 42-yarder?
Bourne's put his kicking toe on, so I think it's going to be Ed Bourne.
You talk about Phil Koppel, a great coach at Gahanna Lincoln High School in his 10th year, and tonight, Coach, is his 100th game as head coach at Gahanna Lincoln. He is 77-22.
That great?
We'll go over the scores in a little bit for Gahanna, or rather the lack of scores for their opponents so far this season. Here is Bourne attempting what will be a 42-yard field goal attempt. The snap is good, the kick, plenty of leg. Is it wide right? It is just barely wide right, but plenty of leg by Ed Bourne.
Wasn't it? that looked like it was going to be a great kick. Phil Koppel, by the way, is a patient of one of my daughters. She's a dental hygienist, and she cleans his teeth and picks at him. And
did you pick up any coaching tips there?
She asks him every once in a while for something.
So 1st and 10 now for the Cardinals with the ball at their own 20-yard line and 4:15 left to go here in the first half. That's Hogan motion now. The interior of that Gahanna line is really shutting down the Cardinal offensive thrust inside here in the second quarter as Evanson's in on the carry for the Cardinals, and he'll gain maybe a yard on the play up to the 21.
I know that I was surprised at the size of these fellas. I thought that they would be a lot bigger. Worthington doesn't have great size. If you look at their weights, it's adequate, but they're not real strong people.
It's hard for me to fathom high school football players across the front all averaging over 200 pounds. Back 13 years ago, we were lucky if we had a guy who weighed about 170. 2nd down and 9. Pitch, bottom of the screen goes to Liggins. He's trapped behind the line of scrimmage, brought down around the 18-yard line. 2 Lions in on the stop. Number 88, John Sanders, and it looks like number 83 along with him for the Gahanna Lincoln High School. That is Dustin Hohenstein.
Did you notice the hit that Frazier put on a poor quarterback after he pitched the football? Brian East knew that he got hit on that, that's for sure.
Coach, everyone will notice as we take a look at this ground level replay come up here in just a second.
Watch him just as he pitches the ball. He took it right on the numbers.
That was number 41, Matt Queen, really leveling him.
And was it Matt Queen?
Queen, a 3-year starter at
linebacker. Saw him walking away from it.
3rd and 11 with 2:55 left to go here in the first half. Flags down on the play. And we'll sort out that situation. We'll go on the Cardinals. Cardinals, remember, with their full complement of 3 timeouts left here in the first half. Remember, Gahanna is 7-0. They are 4-0 in the OCC Ohio. Worthington is 3-4 on the season and 1-3 in league competition.
Now, every aspect of their defense just does an excellent job. They covered the option beautifully. If that pitch that Brian East had just put in there, just at the pitch, there were 4 white shirts hitting the receiver.
Delay of game is a call on the Cardinals. March it back to the 15-yard line. Let's call it 3rd and just about 15 from there with 2:53 left to go in the first half. Twins to the top of the screen for the Cardinals. It's Liggins now wide to the bottom. Quick pop across the middle. The pass is complete, but the receiver pays the price. That's number 89, Chris Davis, who takes a shot at the 20-yard line. Right now he's taking inventory before he gets to his feet.
Did he get stuck or did he get stuck? That's what I say. They're covering the pass beautifully. The receivers are just about getting their hands on the football if they can come that close. The coverage is great. The option is being covered beautifully. The whole bit.
Another high snap. Kick low. Line drive. Bounces at the 48. Batted down by a Cardinal at around the 48. Picked up by Ayers, it looks like, around the 43-yard line.
Well, that got a little bit better yardage than he'd been experiencing early.
37 yards on that punt. Let's take a look at that prior play, if we can, one more time. Take a look at that quick pop. Mr. Davis, meet Mr. Bourne.
Bourne had him covered like a glove. It was just like a glove.
And they'll mark the ball down officially where it was touched at the 48-yard line.
Down at the Worthington 48-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from there for the Lions. And we'll correct the yards on that punt then with 2:13 and running left to go here in the first half. Gahanna Lincoln leading Worthington by a score of 6-0. Smith on the wing at the bottom of the screen. Shepard to the top, and Radcliffe, the lone running back in the backfield. Motion, 2 men in motion, in fact. Handoff goes up the gut, but that will be all for naught as we had 1, 2. In fact, I think we had 3 Lions in motion at the same time.
Now, I had my glasses on Mike Holmes, then he came off the line, and he tried to take on Mr. Leiter. and Mr. Leiter proceeded to have him take a bite out of his forearm.
Let's talk about young Mr. Holmes. He is something else. 6'8" and goes 337 and just a junior. You take a look at the schedule of events coming up on High School Football 87. Next week, Brookhaven at Independence. We have narrowed down the wild card to 3 different games, and no, we won't tell you which one of the 3 it will be. You have to wait until next week to find that out. And top that all off with the City League Championship game. You can see the Cardinals happy. Friday at 11 p.m., Saturdays at 9 p.m. But remember, next Saturday, special time, 10 p.m. 1st and 15. Driesbach rolls. Pass is complete. It looks like to Shepard around the 45-yard line.
Mr. Holmes tried to take on Mr. Leiter again that time. He hasn't been too successful with Leiter. Leiter's a good football player.
Outstanding. Been very impressed by his play in the line so far this evening. He is a senior. Shepard, with that catch, coach, now has nearly equaled his season output. He had caught 3 passes on the season for about 92 yards. A gain of, let's call it, just about 8 on the play. 2nd and 7, 123 and running in the first half. Backs are split in the backfield. Driesbach again goes back to throw. The pass for Higgins. He's got it. Higgins brought down around the 27-yard line.
He puts that ball right in there. He throws the ball nicely. He has nice movement on the football. Looks like an easy football to catch.
Higgins has 1 touchdown catch on the season. He was 1 tackle away from breaking that one. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Remember, the Lions have but 1 timeout left here in the first half. Clock running, 1:10 left to go. Driesbach again goes back to throw, looking, as a man in the flat wide open. That Shepard, the ball goes in and out of his hands.
The reason why that play was broken up because it was touched by Carl Binns. 84 got his hand on it, put his mitt out there, and deflected the football, so you can't blame the receiver.
Binns with good size at 6'3", 207, and a senior. Also looked, too, like from this vantage point, Dan Gerard might be right in the path of that ball, and perhaps Shepard didn't pick it up quite a way as well. 2nd and 10 now with Higgins wide, bottom of the screen. An official's timeout with 1:02, 1:01 left to go now in the first half. Remember, the Cardinals have their 3 timeouts left. The Lions with but 1 left. Shepard down all the way to just about the 22-yard line. Let's see if the Lions take their final timeout.
They have about 45 seconds, less than 45 seconds.
Clock continues to run. They will hurry up from here. 38, 37, 36 and running. The ball is marked officially now at the 23-yard line. Let's call it 3rd and just about 6. 30 seconds left to go, first half. Shepard in the flat, loses the handle of the ball. That's a fumble. That's a free ball. No one picks it up. It is finally picked up by number 49 for the Cardinals, Dan Gerard. And I tell you, a couple of guys were off the boat that time. But Gerard heads up, picks up the football, and the Cardinals will have it back with 18 seconds, and a Cardinal or 2 could have had an easy touchdown.
You're supposed to be a neutral observer. You're not supposed to yell that way.
I call it for either team when there's a play like that. You got to remember that's a live ball. It's not a forward pass. Look at, he throws it back around 2 yards behind him. The ball is still free. 2 players give up on it. Shepard gives up on the ball along with number 84, Carl Binns. Finally, that's Dan Gerard. Johnny on the spot picks it up. Cardinals now with 3, 2, 1. The half has expired. That's Liggins taking it up the gut. That's the end of the first half. No flags on the field. What a way to end the first half. The score, Gahanna Lincoln 6, Worthington nothing.
That's the end of the first half. We'll be right back with tonight's halftime show.
You only get 1 set of eyes. Trust them to Buckeye Optical.
I went to Buckeye Optical and used my Papermint coupon. I got $20 off of my contact lenses.
I need to get a pair of glasses, and Buckeye Optical has a coupon for buy 1 pair and get the other pair for half price. I saw in the Papermint, Buckeye Optical has a complete pair of prescription glasses for $79.50.
Look for the Buckeye Optical Vision and Hearing Report in your Papermint.
I'm getting a pair.
Friends, at Bill Swad Chevrolet, I'm having the biggest year-end liquidation sale in our history. We've got fabulous bargains. We've got Sprints. We've got the brand new 1988 pickup trucks. We've got the Celebrities. We've got the Corvettes. Our showroom floors are loaded. We have 2 showroom floors loaded. Any car, truck, or van on the showroom floor, listen, only 1 cent over our actual cost, and I'll show you the invoice. You come and pick it out, brand new. Only 1 cent over actual invoice. Discounts up to $5,500 at Bill Swad Chevrolet.
Welcome back. We're at halftime. Gahanna Lincoln leading Worthington by a score of 6-0. Sit back, relax right now, and be entertained by the Gahanna Lincoln High School Marching Band.